I'm not looking up on the Google Map. Very curious what that could be. Google Map and latitude, longitude.
Okay, you want to go to YouTube and see if it's
right here.
live?
So it usually takes a few minutes, right?
Yeah, it usually takes a couple minutes. All right, so on the Google document, have you started doing anything with that Google Doc?
Oh, that was the wrong one. So are you able to open the document or not?
So it says, I mean, it's not pulling anything up, is why I was kind of
Did you
wondering.
click on this link up top here?
Yeah, I did.
That's quite strange because I did give the permission for everyone to view it.
Yeah, that is weird.
Okay, I think everyone can edit this document. I change the permission again.
So go back on there. Yeah.
Permission setting, and it seems that you were not
Keep clicking out of all of this.
connected to the website because if you are on that page, I should be able to see that someone is viewing this Google document, and it shows nothing. It shows no one. No one is watching my document. So I guess you are not connected to it.
Now I just pushed it. I mean, see
If you're following, tell me following the link.
if you look, it says Google document yada yada yada, but it's not pulling it up. I'm following that link and it's not taking me anywhere.
Okay, that's another problem. Okay, so
There's your life.
it seems that
Yeah.
Google document is not as reliable as I thought it should be. So, but that's not a bad thing because it tells us that the way we do our live stream and the document sharing is not perfect, and we might want to have alternatives.
Can you? Oh, there it goes.
So, okay. Do you have any suggestions, or maybe we should try different ways of doing this? If Google document when Google document does not work, what do you want to use? We can just share the screen from our Discord, and I think that's also fine too.
Well, that's the thing. Can you go to your? Can you pull it up on your screen? Because I can see.
I have an idea. I have an idea. What if I download it as a PDF file and I send it through Discord, and you simply open the PDF file? How do you think about that?
Well, we
Give
can
me a
try
moment,
that,
and I'm now sending you the PDF file, and
Take that Google Doc.
it's now on your Discord. You should be able to see it. It's on the general channel. You just look at the PDF file in general channel, and you download it, and you can. I think you can display that. I don't know. We haven't tried it before, so yeah. But anyways, since we encounter this problem, we need to find better ways of sharing documents.
Yeah. So my
Give me your mouse for a minute.
Can you download the PDF file on your Discord?
Right. That's what I'm trying to do right now. It's not letting me download that attachment.
What?
I know, this is nuts. I'll tell you what. On your Discord stream, can you pull up your screenshot of the?
Yes, I think I can.
Okay, well,
I think I can.
yeah.
Just give me a moment. And
Yeah, I pushed download.
Yeah, I know.
can you see my screen on my computer right now?
Hold on one sec. Yes.
Oh,
And
so
I'm
you
pull-
can see.
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. There it is.
Okay, so can you see that I'm now looking at the Google document. Not Google document. It's actually PDF file.
Yeah.
That's the same thing you already had pulled up on the Google Doc. It says it's
So?
the same thing. I saw that at one point. I thought.
I don't know whether you can see it or not. I need to check on. Oh, what's your YouTube channel? I need to look again and see if it's on the live stream.
It's
So?
not on the well.
I don't know whether you can see it or not. I need to check on. So
This is a live
what's
stream.
your
It's not-
I don't know whether my sharing document is also look at on the live stream and see
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look here and see what the live
if
stream
it's
is.
on the live stream.
It's not on the well.
But at least we figure out how to handle the Discord side. So I don't know whether my sharing document is also look at on the live stream. See
Oh, there it
So
goes.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna
Jeff, there it
take a
goes.
look here and see what the live stream is.
Hey,
Hey, Lynn?
Oh yes, I can see it. I can see it on live stream. That's not problem. Okay. Okay, so Discord. Okay, so when okay, I think if Google document does not work or PDF does not work, then I simply share my screen.
Right. Hey, Lynn?
Yeah, I think that's how we handle the problem. Okay, so okay, although it's like 20 minutes late, we can finally start our weekly discussion. Yeah, and anyways, very appreciate for your participation as usual. And today, no, not today. This week we have got 5 participants for our weekly remote viewing practice, and this target is also from far side, from the practice target points is from pool A and target 34. I haven't decided how to incorporate their, more interesting targets into the target pool, like their alien stuff and ancient mysteries, that kind of stuff. I haven't decided how to incorporate these interesting targets into our existing practice target pool. Yeah, I think in the coming weeks we can start mixing this data, and we might start doing this our weekly remote viewing in a more interesting way. Okay, and so this week we have got 5 participants, and it's you and me,
Hey,
and
Lynn?
also sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And
Can you turn down your YouTube sound?
doing this our weekly remote viewing in a more interesting way. Okay, and so this week we have got 5 participants, and
Or mute the sound from your YouTube because it's
sorry.
replaying on the
Yeah,
on
I
your
can hear
feed.
you. And
Can you turn? Oh, there it
how
goes.
how about that?
That's wonderful. Yeah, we're good to go now.
Oh, so I need to remember turn off the sound when I'm okay. That's another thing I need to keep in mind. Okay, so
Hey, quick
Okay, thank you for reminding me.
quick
Yeah,
note on that.
I'm
Looking at
still learning how to do it.
quick
Okay,
note
so
on.
this week we have got 5 participants and 4 from the SIT and 1 is from our Zenpanda coin community. I don't know if this guy wants to do it really wants to do it or not, because he simply leaves one word and try to lucky guess and get a prize. Yeah, but anyway, I still appreciate the fact that he took his time and leaving the message. I think that's all what really counts. Okay, so starting from whom? Oh, I think is what did you perceive from this target?
What did I perceive from the target?
Yeah, is oh
My general
what
concern.
is it? So on the first page you were describing. I see you were describing the surrounding environment, right?
Yeah,
White chalky
right.
lines or paths and feels curious old, and people. You see people and the vegetation and structure. Okay, I don't know what this shape is. I think you drew a kind of like a cross.
744.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
7449593.
Yeah, it kind of looked metallic, and it felt like a tourist structure.
Oh, okay. Metallic and tourist structure, and use defense messages or commune. What was that? I can't read it. Communication.
Communication.
Look at target.
Kind of like an antenna.
Oh, kind of like antenna. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was on the other pages? Sliding or shifting. Bronze light, very old. Vegetation. Water nearby. Large river. Oh, interesting. So, oh, there's another page. Energy gathering, structure, hills.
Yeah. So whatever it really felt like an antenna or a structure, or something to do with communication.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good. Thanks.
So, well, I have no idea what the target is, but based on our previous experiences, if we were to downgrade the data from we perceived, then we can say that the environment is a natural environment, and there are maybe people and structures and vegetations for this target, and and there is all, and the structure is a man-made one, and also for the environment, we feel there may be maybe mountains nearby. Is that what we can say? We can say for sure about a target. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like.
Okay,
So-
that's great. Well, I don't know what the target is now, but okay, this is what I drew. It's not. I didn't do my homework just before the start of today's session. I did it 3 days ago, and I don't know what it is, but I just feel that it's a mountainous area, and but I don't see people or structure. Is for me, I only perceive natural environment. I see lots of mountains, and snow-covered peaks, and it's a cold area. I also feel windy, and it's high up in the mountain, whatever the target is located. That's basically the feeling I get from this one. And I drew one thing that looks like I don't know if that's a UFO or what, but you can see there. I drew it like something like a triangle and some wavy lines. I don't know if I can call it Gistos or not, but this is the first the first thing I drew when I try to probe the target number. Yeah, I drew something like the deformed triangle and with a wavy line, like a kite in the sky with a string attached. I don't know what that is. It could, yeah.
It's funny because I did the same thing. I drew a structure and I didn't know it felt different. And it looks a lot like your structure. If you look up at my very first page, that
Oh,
you
your
know,
first page.
yeah. So
Your-
it would be page 1,
Oh,
right on the.
it's a cross. It's a cross.
It's kind of like a
And you-
cross. It's
and you
a
wrote-
round structure.
You wrote
Yeah.
metallic.
Yeah. So whatever you drew looks kind of like that shape.
Kind of like, yeah. If we look at it in a kind of like a mosaic version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't know what that is, but yeah. But if there is if something was there, then that could be it, and that's my best expression for maybe that's the focal point, the
Right.
focus of the main focus of this target. I have no idea. Okay, so let's move on and see what others have got. And this one is from Snowblind. Snowblind and calm, no energy action. Oh, stone, land, grass cover, and water. Water. Hard to tell if every. I can't read
Ocean.
all the words.
It's ocean or
Oh, ocean or not. So he perceived there is a water in the surrounding area. And stone object is man-made. Oh, he drew I think he drew what he thinks is most important, most relevant to this one. So he's not focused. Snowblind was not focused on the environment, but rather he focused on the most important thing he thought that is about the target. And molten energy, not really. Space, air, not really relevant. And natural environment, stone object in surround. Okay, stone object built to let others know we are here. We we control here. Could
No.
that be a pyramid?
it's. Well, I was going to say it's funny. It feels like a turret, like an old World War II German turret, and I don't know why
Oh,
that is such a strong impression on me.
but looking at data from Snowbound, I thought it was a pyramid or maybe an obelisk.
Yeah, that
from
could.
the,
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
that could be
ancient
too.
past, and that could explain everything about if that is the case, then we have shared many common grounds.
Yeah,
So yeah, interesting stuff from Snowblind. And to be honest, I really like the way Snowblind do his remote viewing. I don't know if it's he or she, but anyway, I think data from Snowblind is very good. Like, I mean in terms of quality, because I can always when I look at the data, I can relate to something concrete or some concrete ideas immediately. For example, in this case, the first thing that comes to my mind is a pyramid or an obelisk. Yeah, I can tell a name, or I can name it directly with one word. But looking at my data, I cannot name what the target could be, because my data, the quality of my data is not good enough, and it's so vague, and so indeterminate that I don't know, I cannot tell what it is. But for Snowblind, the data is very good because I can always think of something. very concrete. Okay,
It-
so
It is a good quality. It is good quality. It's much like auras. It's just both of them are such
oh
good
yeah,
quality.
wow, Aura drew a castle. I don't know what that is. So this one is from Aura, and colors red, green, blue, black, gray, yellow, white, and rectangle. We all know that in the natural environment, we rarely have stuff that is rectangular shaped. Yeah, whenever we see rectangular stuff, is most likely man-made structure or man-made stuff, and arched doorway and cylinders, arrows in a triangle, and X, and cross. So looking at Aura, she also perceived a cross. We don't know what that cross means. Just like you, in a room, some wrote on a wall and water. I don't know where. There is water present in the environment, and cylinders outside, towers, buildings, one big, three small. Wow, so specific. Metal towers, antenna towers, antenna. Yeah, that word also showed up in your session, and all fenced. So from Aura's point of view, she thinks the target is most likely a man-made structure, and we don't know what that is, but it looks like a factory or what. Yeah, or a military base.
Yeah, yeah. It does feel like a military base.
Yeah, just some significant locations that only maybe people with clearance that have access to. And if that is the case, then Aura's data also shares some similarities with Snowblind, because the last thing Snowblind wrote is we are here and we control here.
Oh yeah,
That give
that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, from our Zenpal coin community, our member only wrote down one word, magic. I have no idea what that means, but perhaps it could be just a simple try, or maybe he wants to just lucky guess and take our prize. But even if that is the case, if it's just one word, maybe that's the most relevant and the most intuitive thing that comes to his mind when he wants to give his try. So if that's the case, then that may be of some relevance to this practice target. Yeah, so not much to discuss because he just wrote down one word, magic. So
Right.
okay, now it's time for the target reveal. Okay, can you see my screen right now? I'm now on far side page,
Yep.
and I think this target is from pool A and target 34. Pool A and target 34. What is this? Wow.
Wow.
Can you see it? Wait a second. I'll need to pass the link to the Discord channel, and also I'll post the data to our Google document. Then I don't know what is the resolution on your computer.
So
Because-
I've got the Google document pulled up on my old computer.
Oh, that's great.
It's just that is.
I would
building
say
is that?
Aura gives a very good description, for this one, I
Yeah.
would say Aura is the closest because in Aura's data, I can see that for Aura, she didn't care about the environment. She think the main focus for this target, the most relevant information, is man-made structure. So you can see in Aura's data that everything she drew is structures everywhere. And what is this place? I have no idea.
Well, I was actually just getting ready to pull it up on Google Map and see what it is, or where it is.
Oh yeah, Carnegie Libraries. Carnegie Library.
Yeah, Carnegie.
Oh, we can also look. We can also look at Wikipedia and see the background for
yeah, there you
this. Built with money donated by Scottish American businessmen. Oh. Oh, I also post the link. The link to Wikipedia, and everyone can see it.
That's a brick building, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a pretty building.
We are hearing we control here. Yeah, I'm thinking Aura did a very good job with the structures.
Yeah,
but
very good description of what the target is.
Right, but I'm also thinking that Snowblind did a doggone good job on, he's got a structure. I don't know if it's facing water, but he's got some of the aspects of this as well. It looks like I failed.
I failed too.
I think me and you bombed out, and those two did really good.
Stone object is man-made. Yeah, that's definitely. I think this library. I don't know. I don't know the material name. Is it granite or what?
I'm sure it's concrete and granite or limestone.
Oh, limestone. Yeah. So Snowblind thing the object is stone object, but it's man-made. It's not some stone you can see in the natural environment. Yeah, it has been carved and it has been processed. So yeah, Snowblind's description is quite good. But in terms of I would say Aura's data is still of better quality than Snowblind for this one.
The other thing is if you look at Aura's data and you see the round cylinders on her data.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we.
But look at the rounded arches.
Yes.
On the opening.
Yes.
So I'm I'm kind of wondering if that's what she saw.
I think that's the case. Well, when we remote view, we all know that remote viewing does not work like the raw visual. Instead, you perceive shapes, but it can come in different forms and come in metaphors. So when you think you see a tower, then maybe there is no tower, but instead it's a cylindrical shaped structure. But when you try to remote view and having some glimpse here and there, then you would perceive the target, but in a disassembled fashion or reassembled fashion. Yeah, I think that's what happened to Aura. So yeah, I would still consider Aura's data as a very good description, even though I don't see tower structure, because I would say that in this case, tower is a is a is the closest representation that Aura could think of when she tried to describe the cylinder shaped. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
columns. So sorry about that. Yeah, the columns. Yeah, we can see many columns.
Yeah, I think she did a very good job, and she picked up a lot of stuff. And
Yeah, relevant information.
yep. So
I don't see tower here, but I see many columns for in this building. So, but Leora cannot know. It's not possible to know that it's just columns for the same building. So instead, Aura may think it's a different structure. So she drew many towers. Yeah, but to me that's not a fail. That's not a miss. We all know remote view it's not a direct visual. You perceive image in a different fashion. Yeah, sometimes it's in a fraction way, and sometimes and in most cases, even in the base cases, there is some distortion for the data. So I'm fine with that.
you should see the so that picture they have, and the current picture that I have for the Carnegie Library building in Texas.
Oh,
they
I need to look at it right now. I haven't thought about looking it up on Google Map. Oh,
Yeah,
where is it?
It's Carnegie Library Building, Texas State Historical Marker. And
Texas. Where is Texas?
then Dallas, Texas. Are you on Google Map?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
Carnage Park.
So put it in a search bar, and it'll pull it up. It's the Carnegie Building.
Colorado, St. Joe's, and where is it?
Texas is middle of the United States. Yep, it's down there by Mexico. Yep, the biggest state in there.
So many Carnage, so many Carnage Library,
Yeah,
Carnage Library, Texas.
yeah. This is the Texas State Historical Marker.
Oh,
So it's on 207 North Francis Street, Terrell. What the hell? Maybe I'm on the wrong one. Anyways,
I have no idea. So many Carnage. Oh, Carnage Library building. But it looks like they are all built with similar fashions everywhere around the world.
that could be.
Well, I have no idea where the exact location is.
Yeah, and that's one of the frustrating things about these targets is we can't pull up. It's very hard to pull up more description about the target itself from Farside. I'm assuming that this is an older picture taken a long time ago.
I believe it is.
But I'll tell you what, it's Aura got a lot of it, so I'm pretty happy with it.
And yeah, but nevertheless, I'm still satisfied that in many ways we have demonstrated that remote viewing is a real thing. Even though our hit rate is not as high as those from Farside and from Future Forecasting Group, like the professionals. We are not a professional, but we already showed that if enough people have participated in a group remote viewing, someone is going to hit the target anyway. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing to know.
Well, the other thing is watching the video where Justin Brown was talking to the psychic guys on a podcast or an interview.
So sorry, who is talking to the psychic guys? I didn't get it.
Is it Justin Brown? Who's the guy from Farside? The head guy from Farside. Or Farsight. The main.
You mean Josh?
Is it Josh?
I don't know who you were talking about.
No, the website that you go to for remote viewing. It's not Farsight, right? It's Farsight. Who's the leader of Farsight website?
Oh, who is the leader? I think it's Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown. I'm sorry. So, anyways, the psychic guys were interviewing Courtney Brown.
Yes, I even spent like 20 or 30 minutes listening their interview. But I think Courtney Brown, he has so many things to share, and I'm not patient enough to finish all the interview.
Well, one of the things that I kept listening to him say is that you can remote view the same target over and over and over and over, because he had Daz Smith do that 9 times on the same target.
Oh yeah, he was. I remember. Yeah, Courtney Brown was talking about Daz Smith looking. I believe it's Daz Smith looking at the pyramid of Giza, or maybe doing the JFK assassination. Yeah, they did spend a lot of many rounds on the same target.
Well, and that brings to the point is, so when we remote view a target, can we repeatedly, even though we're missing all the time, can we repeatedly view the same target multiple times and come up with more and more correct data? Or will the wrong data overwhelm us and throw us completely off track? I mean, it would be interesting to see, you know.
As long as you don't know you're viewing the same target.
Well,
I guess
I don't know, but if Daz Smith can do that, then it certainly all people should have the potential to do that too. Yeah, the question is whether the data is usable or not. Yeah, as amateurs, I would say our remote viewing data, the biggest challenge we face is that the data coming from amateurs like us is not reliable enough. Yeah, that's the main challenge for amateur remote viewers.
right.
Yeah, but for the professionals, it's not a problem. They can review. Yeah, they can remote view the same target over and over again. Yeah, but I think that could also cause other problems too. For example, because I watched the Farsight series, and at the very end of the video shooting, I mean, both from Daz Smith and from Dick Elgar, they all broke the condition they all broke the double blind condition, yeah, by themselves, even though they were not told about what the target is. Yeah, I recall that at the beginning, Daz Smith and Dick Elgar, they all have no idea what what the target is. But they all perceive similar data like, oh, there's people, there's gathering, and the main focus is a male, is a male subject, and the male subject was in a vehicle, and the male subject they all encountered an event, and they all drew the same conclusion that the male subject was killed, and at the very last of the video shooting, Dick Allgaier and Dan Smith, they all thought that the target person is JFK.
Right. That's where they start drawing conclusions from their data.
And well, I would say drawing conclusions from the data. On one hand, it can be a good thing and also a bad thing. Yeah, for remote viewers, because I would say for remote viewers, you should never draw any conclusion, even though you have very clear visual and clear perception coming from it. You should never draw any conclusion, because we all know that when your mind starts drawing conclusions, your mind will start giving you some hallucinations, yeah, and false information, false data, and that would temper your ability to remote view. So as remote viewers, it is best that we stay naive and we stay ignorant, and we have absolutely no information about the nature of the target. That's the best condition for remote viewing. And once you break the double blind condition, you are not able to remote view as good as you should be, because your mind starts affecting you.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with that assessment 100%. The less we know, the better off we are, because our minds are very powerful, and they do play tricks.
But I would say it's still very I don't know if how many people have watched the videos from Farside, and I believe the session they do about the JFK assassination is free to the public. They post it on the YouTube and it's free. Yeah, some videos from Farside are not behind the paywall. You can watch it for free on their YouTube, like the Pyramid of Giza and the Atlantis, and also some I believe also anomalies on the Mars and yeah, JFK assassination. I believe these four projects they did on Farside is free to the public, and if people spend time watching their videos, they would be amazed how good Dan Smith and Dick Allgaier actually are. And yeah, they are very good. I would say they are almost like legends.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm striving for too. Is I'm trying to get to a point where I can get at least better. I mean, I'd love to be a legendary, but at least let me get better. So I practice a lot in order to really get there, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, but the good news is remote viewing is obviously trainable. Otherwise, we should not make any progress.
True. It's funny though how when you first start out, it's so much easier than the farther along you go, it's so much harder. It's kind of like
yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, that's I think that's that's what we need to accept once we start we start taking on this journey, either you want to be, because if you can only remote view for one time and with very good data, it's not actually very it's not very practical, I would say. Yeah, you want to be able to remote view consistently. Yeah, even though the quality may not be as good as the first time effect, but as long as you can remote view with fairly good quality data and consistently, that I think that will be good enough.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to get consistency. It really is frustrating to come up with a lot of data that has no bearing at all on the target. So, but at least having a couple
would say-
of really good hits, and the rest of them still have data that has something to do with the target rather than being completely off is
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say for my personal hit rate is like something around 10%. But you know what? That's the beauty of mathematics. Even though I only have like 10% of hit rate, but once we start doing the group view, then it means that it means that someone is definitely going to hit the target regardless, because it's just like, because 90% of the chances I'm not going to hit it anyway, and if the same number goes with you and other people, that number will decrease. The rate that we entirely miss the target will decrease as the number of viewers goes up. Yeah, that will be 90% times 90% times 90% times 90%, and eventually the probability that no one hits the target will become zero. Yeah, as long as we have got enough viewers doing the remote viewing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. As long as we can get a group that has 100% hit rate if we have a big enough group.
Yeah, it's not that 100 people will hit the target all at once. It's not like that, but it will be like 2 or 3 people among the 100 would hit the target. But let's, yeah, as long as it's a hit, that information is usable, and if that information is usable, then we can start working on ways or methods to extract viable data from a pool of junk data.
Well, the Daz Smith was talking about the AI that actually can go through all the data and sort it out. I haven't looked into it myself, but I mean, I thought it'd be interesting to be able to take all our data and lump it,
Yeah,
and then have an
I
AI.
think we are doing this experiment right now. Yeah, looking at our submission for this week, we have got 5 participants, and we have no idea prior to the target reveal. We have no idea what the target is and who is going to hit it. But with the help of AI and with the knowledge that someone or somehow is going, there is viable data in this data pool, then AI can start. Maybe AI can help us sort it out and determine which part of the submission is more viable and which part of the information is not that possible.
You know, it's interesting because as far as putting it into a like a company business kind of aspect, if you had a large pool of pretty good remote viewers or even adequate remote viewers,
Yeah.
and an AI to do this, to pull the information out in a timely and a better manner. I mean, businesses would be clamoring for this. I mean, they would want,
Certainly.
as long as you could pull the data out using, whatever technological means. I don't understand. I've never heard of anything like it being used for business, but God, I just see so many uses for it.
Yeah, certainly. And I can imagine that it could be a kind of like data mining business,
Yeah.
It's just like gold mining. You sifting through a sea of data, but you only take out what is usable and get rid of the rest. Because we all know that amateur remote viewers are not going to give you all the best quality data. It's not possible, but they are going to give you some good data. Yeah, and the only problem is how are we going to extract that? Yeah, as long as we can extract that, then a sea of remote viewing data submission is usable, and someone is going to pay for that.
Well, that's where I think that app idea that I have is really going to shine, is because if I had an app that allowed just the average person to easily and quickly remote view a target, send it to a collection agency, and then the collection agency runs its AI through to sift. And if we have people that pay for this, then that money can be transferred to the individual who did the remote view. It won't be a lot of money, but the big companies would pay for it through the nose.
Yes. I think that is go. Well, I don't think it will come true very very soon. Yeah, it probably won't be practical, looking like in 2 or 3 years. But I imagine in a decade or two, that thing will become a reality. We just don't know how the process will manifest.
Right.
Well, okay. So, by the way, did Phil reveal his target? I still have no idea what he asked us to remote view. Yeah, he only gave us the coordination.
Let's put that into Google Map and see what it pulls up.
Yeah. Oh, I just found that we have got another person tuning in. He's also from our Zen Panda Coin community.
Oh, cool.
Did you see that on your Discord?
I do not. Oh, Leo. Nice.
Leo, yeah. It's from our Zen Panda Coin community.
Hi, you guys keep talking.
好，跟你说一个好消息啊！
听就好。
今天我们有人命中目标，对，就是那个对Liora 答得很好，就是如果你有去看那个我们的 Google Document 的话，你就会知道，就是我们其实发现一件很有趣的现象，就是其实像我们这种就是那种很一般的普通人啊，其实我们交出来的 remote viewing 的资料品质是很差的，命中率也是很差的。但是呢，我们有发现一件很有趣的现象，就是什么？当足够多的人来做这件事的时候，总是会有人中，只是我们不知道是会是谁中。例如说，像是我的命中率只有10%好了，那假如 Jeff 的命中率也是10%，我们就假设每个人的命中率都是10%。那换言之就是什么？就是我不中的几率是90%嘛，那每个人都不中的几率就是什么？就是90%乘90%乘90%乘90%。那如果参与的人数够多的时候，你就会发现，完全一个人都没中的几率是多少？是0。对，前提是就是要有足够多的人参与这件事。那其实你就会发现，就是为什么我们敢号称就是SITN 我们的命中率是35%，实际上我们根本就没有35%，以个人而言都没有到35%，但是以整体而言，我们是有35%。为什么呢？因为我不中的时候 ，Jeff 可能中嘛。Jeff 不中的时候 ，Snowblind 可能会中嘛。Snowblind 也没中的时候 ，Liora 可能会中嘛。Liora 不中的时候 ，Birdie 可能会中嘛。所以就是 一个很有趣的现象就是，你要我们所有的人都 miss 掉，那是很难的。即使我们不是，即使我们都是那种就是初学者，对，但是你要所有的初学者全部都失败，基本上难度也很高。所以你就会发现，就是整体下来，就是只要参加的人够多啊，总是会有人能够找到目标。对，那这一次就是你去看那个 Farside 的那个档案，还有那个所有所提交的资料，你会发现，我靠 ，Leora 画的真是传神啊！对，他就说这个目标我不管它是什么，反正就是一堆人造建筑物，对，然后画的什么就是高塔，然后那个什么，然后建筑物，然后还有车子在旁边，然后还有什么东西，对。那这周的话，基本上我奖金也是给他啦，对啊。如果你去看那个 Snowblind 他写的也很有趣，他说这个目标是一个石头的东西，但是它不是天然的，它是人造的，对。然后他说就是这样，反正他也不管周遭是什么东西啊。我跟 Jeff 都是错的离谱，对，就是这样子。这礼拜是这样子啊。其实我们刚刚就是在讨论说，那像这种就是低品质的这种 remote viewing 的 data 有没有应用空间？答案是有的。但是这种东西应用空间的潜力要如何实现，我们其实还不是很清楚。我们这个东西一定是需要靠 AI 帮忙的，因为它要做 data mining， 就是你要做资料选别。就是说，我们就假如一个 remote viewing 的 session 里面有100个人来都丢资料，你应该知道，就是我们就想象都是鲁毛党好了，我们就办一个 remote viewing 活动，就说参加者可以拿$1000，那个一定一堆鲁毛党过来交资料，那我们都知道鲁毛党交出来的资料那个品质绝对是很差的嘛，对不对？那可能99%都不能用，可是重点就在于当人数参与者够多的时候，一定会有很少数的资料是能用，而且可能质量还很高，就像是这一次的 Leora 他交的资料一样。那怎么办呢？我们这个时候就是我们当然还不知道实际做法，但是或许 AI 能够有办法，就是说从可能是关联性比对或是相关性，就是说从这么多人交出来的资料里面，有哪些共同的场景，例如说人造的东西，或者是人或者是建筑物。可能出现这个用词出现的频率很高，那他可能就会认为这是一个与目标相关的一个资讯，也说不定。对，那可能通过这种方式，AI 可以去从一大堆垃圾资料里面去筛选捞出来他认为最有价值的资讯。那这个最有价值的资讯，假如它够准的话，它或许能够当做一个就是高质量的一个 remote viewing session。这个就好比就是那种俗话说什么3个臭皮匠胜过一个诸葛亮，大概是这样的一个意思啊。就是我们虽然每个人个人能力都不够强，但是当一堆人的资料聚集起来的时候，对，它还是一堆垃圾资料。但是这一堆垃圾资料呢，里面是有黄金的，只是你要知道要怎么把这些黄金给捞出来。对啊。我刚刚跟 Jeff 就是在聊这件事，那当然这件事情我肯定它未来会实现，因为不是每个人都能够成为职业的 remote viewing， 这是不可能的，因为 remote 你要做到像什么 Dan Smith 和 Dick Allgeier 那种能够几乎就是可能80-90%都能够很准确的描述目标，而且能够给出高品质的资料，不可能的，这个东西要天分。那你除了光靠练习，你还是有上限的。对，你一定要有天分。那我刚刚也有跟那个 Jeff 聊过，就是 Dan Smith 和 Dick Allgeier 他们之前做的一些事迹啊。他们以前在替 Farside 的 Courtney Brown， 他们在 TR 工作的时候 ，Courtney Brown 他其实就是 Farside， 他其实有放几则影片到 YouTube 上，那是免费的，那个你不用付钱，你也看得到啊。当时的几个他们做的一些调查，就是那个吉萨金字塔嘛，就埃及的 Pyramid of Giza， 还有那个亚特兰蒂斯，就是在大西洋的海底层。然后另一个就是 Assassination of JFK， 就是那个甘乃迪总统的暗杀事件。对，就是它有几个影片其实是公开的，那个不用钱，你也可以看 YouTube 上面就有。那当时就是那个什么，那个Dick Allgeier 911也是公开，就是那个911事件，就是飞机撞那个什么世贸大楼，对，都是公开，都是公开影片。就是你如果去看的话，你会发现，在那个什么那个甘乃迪总统的暗杀事件，就是 Assassination of JFK。 在影片的最后面，Dick Allgeier 还有那个 Dad Smith 两个人，他们都靠自己的能力打破了双盲的限制，就是他们都做这个 session 都不知道目标是什么，但他们最后都得出一致的结论，就是Dick Allgeier认为这个被干掉的人是 JFK， 那 Dad Smith 也认为这个被杀掉的人是甘乃迪总统。对，虽然他们都不知道为什么，但是他们就是做出这样的结论。对，就是很厉害的 remote viewers 其实是有办法自己突破双盲限制的，就是你什么都没告诉他，但是他自己把答案找出来了。其实我有跟那个 Jeff 刚刚也有讨论，这其实不见得是一个好现象，因为 remote viewing 其实很怕的事情叫做那个什么资讯干扰啊，还有你的那个主动意识的一个屏蔽效应，就是当你开始对于这个目标有那种先见之明的时候，就是你会开始有偏见，那你会开始就是产生 hallucination， 就是幻觉，就像 AI 一样，你就开始就是脑袋就是开始幻想这个东西应该是什么，这个东西应该是什么，然后有哪些元素应该加进去。当你开始主观上认定你已经知道这个东西是什么时候，这个时候你反而是你最容易出错的时候，因为你的所有的 remote viewing 资料都几乎都不可用，因为你开始在胡思乱想。对，所以最理想的 remote viewing 状态就是双盲条件，就是你什么都不知道，对，你只有一个编号一个代码，然后你要自己去找资料。对，就是我刚刚有跟 Jeff 聊到啊，就是即使你是专业的 remote viewer， 你也不应该去对于 target 有任何的就是偏见，就跟先见之明，因为当你开始有这个东西，就算你是专业的，你也会开始出错。对，所以就是刚刚我们今天大概讨论的就是这几个话题吧，对吧？我不知道你什么时候加进来的，你进来很久吗？
我没有，我就刚进来，然后
你就刚进来啊，没关系啊，反正那个我们
10分钟吧，没事，你们聊啊。我现在在拔罐，你知道吗？
拔罐啊！不好意思，反正如果你有兴趣的话，你可以看那个我 YouTube 影片。虽然我的英文实在是很破啊，但是至少还能沟通对话，就是跟 Jeff 聊天这样子。对，然后一开始我们还遇到，对，大概是这样子啊。这礼拜对。还有一件事就是那个上周 Phil 有给我们一个目标，叫我们去看，只是我们不知道那什么东西啊。他刚刚给了一个坐标，就是那个一个 coordinate， 就是这看起来像是北纬46度，然后51什么的，51分什么的。那这应该西经吧？西经120度20分，然后反正就一个地理坐标，我不知道这个东西要怎么在 Google Map 去查，对，我可能要了解一下。Jeff, are you still there?
Yeah.
So sorry to have you waiting. I was explaining to my friend what we have been talking about in this week's live stream.
Yeah. What did he think?
Well, he is. I don't know how to explain, but he said that he is now.
I don't know how to say English. 拔罐 what's mean?
It's like a medical practice, Chinese medical practice.
Yeah.
拔罐. Give me a moment. I'll need to look it up. 拔罐英文. Cupping therapy. He is now doing cupping therapy. Have you heard of cupping therapy?
No, I haven't.
You can Google it. And I'm now pasting the word. Yeah, cupping therapy. You can look it up in the Google, and you will see a picture. Yeah, it's a Chinese medical therapy similar to acupuncture, but it's not acupuncture.
What the heck is that?
It's similar to acupuncture.
It's good for your health and your body.
Is that the one with the little suction cups?
Yeah, it's like cups. I don't know how to explain it.
But it's a little bit hurt.
It's a little bit painful.
Yes.
I think the what's her name does that. Shit. Hey,
Leo, yeah.
we have one of our friends is a not a physical therapist. She's a masseuse, and I think she does that cupping. So that's popular over here too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know about that.
yeah. I'm not going to try it, but you guys go ahead and try that. It looks painful. So, did you
Google Map.
did he want to try did he want to try that remote viewing game?
Oh,
Yes,
I don't know.
I tried that.
Leo，我直接跟你讲中文，你有没有兴趣玩一个小游戏？
可以你说。
他没有回答。I think he is not available at the moment because he's now doing some therapy
Oh,
and
yeah,
maybe next time.
yeah, maybe next
Oh,
time.
okay. I'll explain to him. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. 我简单跟你讲一下，解释一下。就这个游戏，其实我跟我们之前玩过啊，就是不是我们呐、是我跟 Birdy 还有那个 Jeff 还有其他人之前玩过，我玩过2-3场吧。对，它其实就很简单，就是一个叫什么、啊？那个他会给你就是选择题，很像那种抽图片卡的那种概念，有点像抽扑克牌、抽鬼牌那种概念，只是就很像是说哦，我现在随便给你开3张牌，你要告诉我这张牌背面的花色是什么，还有数字是什么，很像这种感觉。但是我们不是给别人去猜那个扑克牌的那种花色跟数字，我们相反的，就是我们就是直接给你3张牌，但每一张牌背后对应到的是一张图片，然后呢，这个图片我们是有指定意涵的，就是这张图片看了会让你感到就是愉悦，就是感觉这是好的图片。那某一张图片呢，它看了会让你感到可能比较不高兴或是比较负面的一些情绪。那另一张图片呢，就是中性的。对啊，我们这个游戏的目的呢，就是什么？它会给你 A、B、C 3个选项，那三个选项分别对应到3张图片。那我们的工作就是在公布答案之前，自己去排列出就是中性、正面还有负面的顺序，到底就是从正面到负面，你的排序是什么？是 A、B、C 还是 A、C、B 还是 B、A、C 还是 B、C、A？对，就是你要去排序，对。就你如果认为 A 是最正面的，那你就把 A 排第一个；那你如果认为 A 是最负面的，那你就把 A 排最后一个。中间的那个就是中性的图片。对，我们做的事情就是这么简单。这个游戏啊，因为我们只有3张图卡，所以它是有一个就是数学上的理论值命中率，就是你就算不会 remote viewing， 你随便瞎猜，你的命中率应该也是1/6。因为它就排列组合就只有6种 A、B、C、A、C、B， 然后 B-A-C、B-C-A， 然后接下来 C-A-B-C-B-A， 对，它就只有6种排列组合顺序，所以就算你不会 remote viewing， 你随便乱排，你的命中率应该至少都有就是1/6。对，那我跟 Jeff 还有那个 Birdy 玩的结果，我跟你讲，我们命中率高的离谱，对，我们命中率就7-8成吧，对。我也不知道为什么会这样，但是就是很神奇，就是命中率远高于理论值，对啊，当然有几种，我可以跟你说啊，就是psychic phenomenon， 就是一些这种叫什么，就是非物质性的这种现象啊，就是你要说灵学吗还是什么？它其实是你可以细分成几个领域，就。一个是 remote viewing 嘛，就是你靠自己做到的。那另一种，它可能不是你靠自己做到，它是有一些外在环境的影响。例如说像是 Jeff 可能不经意的，就是给了我一些提示，但他其实也没有就是口头上直接跟我说白了，就是A 是最正面的，或是 C 是最正面的。他也不是这样讲，他可能是讲的时候，就是言语行词中就是有一些暗示的意味存在，这是一种可能性。就间接的透露讯息，但是我本人也不知道。另一种情况就是什么？就是叫什么？叫做 telepathy，就是 telepathy 中文叫什么 ？telepathy 哦，心电感应啊，就是 Jeff 也没跟我说啊，我也看不到答案，我也不是 remote view， 但是通过心电感应，我读出了 Jeff 的心思啊，我也知道他的图片的排序，对，反正不管怎样，一定有某种条件是成立的，不然我们的命中率不会这么高。对，因为它这个东西是数学上绝对有合理期望值啊，就是你玩游戏玩的次数够多，你的猜测的命中率应该会接近100，就是1/6。对啊，我们目前为止玩的命中率不是1/6，对，命中率非常高啊。如果不信的话，可以去看之前就是我们在 YouTube 上的 live stream， 那个做不了假的。对，那之前我印象很深刻的有2次啦，就是我猜正面的图片的时候，我就是说我看到一个什么，我看到一个海滩，然后我看到大海上有船，对，然后这是一个热带岛屿，这是我的直觉。结果那张对应到的图片是什么？他说是夏威夷的照片，对，我吓一跳啊。另外一个就是另一张我没有看到图片，但是我说这张图片带给我一股寒意，对啊，为什么会有一股寒意？我也不知道，我只觉得这张图片有一种阴森的氛围，对，所以我把它列为负面，对，然后结果 Jeff 把答案揭晓的时候，我也吓到了，就是那张图片是什么？那张图片是冰天雪地，就是一个下雪的地方，对，四周都是雪，对啊，为什么我感受到寒意？我也不晓得，对，就是反正我就觉得有一股阴森的气氛，所以我就把那张图片列为负面，对，就很神奇，对，很神奇的一个游戏，但是也很简单，就是猜图卡，就是你未必看得到图片是什么，但是你可以去猜嘛，这张图片正面的还是负面的。对，然后还是中性的啊。如果你感受到不到任何资讯，那你就把它列为中性，就这么简单。对，这个游戏大概是这样子。它其实不是什么很复杂的游戏，但是我认为它是一个就是像让人们就是发现到其实就是有通灵潜力的一个小游戏啊。就是你未必是真的是在 remote view， 但是当你能够做出正确排序的时候，其实某种程度上来讲，你已经是在做 remote viewing 了。对，你只是不是很正规的，就是说，哦，把你得到的一些资讯情报画下来，或者是用单词表现出来。对，你只是单纯的去做正面、负面、中性，就是用简单的方式去排序。但当你能够正确排序的时候，其实某种程度上你已经在 remote viewing 了。对，我觉得这是一个一个算是介绍入门者很好的一个方式。对，我玩过 ，Birdy 也玩过啊 ，Jeff 也找过他几个同事玩过。对啊，如果你现在拔罐，应该不太适合啦，因为它可能会影响，因为你的身体的一些外在刺激，就是可能会对你造成一些影响。对，所以你现在玩的话，搞不好就是1/6的命中率。对，就是1/6啊，就是完全就是几率啊。对啊，1/6其实
你这个游戏，我觉得你也可以发到推特上面，让别人去参与，因为感觉你这个游戏还比较简单嘞。
哦，对啊，难度低很多啊，因为它不用你说什么哦，把你看到的东西画下来，或是把你感受到的一些相关关联词把它写下来，它没有要求这个东西，就是你只是排序而已。对，它难度当然是低很多。对啊，但是该怎么讲呢？就是以我们 ZPC 社区的参与度而言，我认为是没有人会关注的。除非给钱，
没事，你发出去总有人看到。
对，除非给钱。但上礼拜跟这礼拜确实有人来参与。上礼拜因为我跟 Jeff 都没命中，所以我们就把钱给出去了。对，这无所谓。对，那这礼拜因为 Aura 中了，等一下我还是会打钱给 Jeff， 然后请 Jeff 就转账给 Aura。对，就20块嘛，也不是什么大金额。OK， I think it's almost. We are now close to the end of this week's session. Well, we haven't revealed the target from Phil.
See,
and
that's what I'm looking at right now. Is I'm trying to find the target, and it's over by the Yakima Indian Reservation, and I think it's Mel's Hole. I gotta call. I've got to call him and talk to him, but I'm pretty sure that it's Mel's Hole, which is really funny.
I just look at the I would say the documentation from the Google Map, and it says that when we are try to look up for the locations in degrees, minutes, and seconds, then we should write down the coordinates in this fashion. So I'm now looking at Phil's data and try to, or maybe I should ask ChatGPT to do this for me, because ChatGPT is better at handling this kind of regular task. Okay. Oh, sorry, I need to write down in Chinese. 将金
So
纬
whatever it
度
is
坐标
is over by Hanford Reach National Monument. I'm not quite sure what it is.
像 Google Map
That's got to be Mel's Hole, though. So what?
Oh,
Did you do a remote view on that, Lynn? Did you do a? I didn't see your.
yes, I did, but give me a moment. I need to ask ChatGPT to give me better response. 不对，应该要写成
Phil, you sneaky dog.
Oh, okay. Now I think this is what ChatGPT gave me. So if I look it up in the Google Map, I should be able to see where the target is located, and it shows this area. This is the location. I post the URL link on the general channel, and now we can all take a look and see where it is. What is this? I have no idea.
Yeah,
It's,
so that's kind of east of the mountains where I
it's in
live.
the United States.
Yes, that's east of the mountains where I live. That's about 100 miles away from where I live. That's,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I live. That's a real deserty region. Yep, farmland over there. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, yeah. Mostly natural environment.
Yes.
And what is my mission?
Your
Oh,
mountains, woods, night, dusk, dark sky, two subjects staring at something. But I'll tell you what.
what did I submit it?
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna text Phil right now. And
Wind, shark, mountains, woods, night, dusk, dark sky encounter, two subjects staring at something. Well, I don't think my submission is good enough. But mountains and woods, that's definitely relevant. Yeah, mountains and woods, because it's in a mountainous area. I was right on the location, and I was right about the vegetations you can see around this place.
Right. And it's going to be interesting to find out what his target is, but your data definitely corresponds to the location.
Yeah, location wise, it's relevant.
Yeah.
So what else can we see here? I don't know.
It's just basically farmland and mountains. So there's really
Oh, okay.
not a lot there. But yeah, I sent Phil a text, and
And this is the Google, yeah. This is the Google image. Yeah, definitely lots of trees.
here, back out just a little bit on that Google map, and then look for the nearest town and tell me what the nearest town is. Go to the east.
Go to the east. You mean this way?
No, the other way. Over to the green spot where all that farmland is right there. What's the name of that town?
Rodeo City.
Rodeo City, huh? Oh, Royal City. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's really. I'll tell you what. As soon as I find out, I'll let you know what exactly he was looking at.
What? Are you going there?
No, I'll talk to Phil and see what his target was,
Oh, okay.
and then
Okay.
I'll have him
So,
post it.
okay. So that's great. So did you do Phil's target from last week?
I did not. I didn't have enough time. So
Oh,
yeah,
sorry to hear that. Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
Well, I'm hoping we can get another target up that somebody. You can always ask your friend and see if he has a target, but it's kind of nice having a secondary target to look at.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll definitely ask them if they have time for doing it. Well, I would say the most difficult part is to take the first step. Yeah, if you don't take the first step, you are not going to believe that you can do it. Yeah.
Yep.
The first step is the hardest step.
Yeah, that's just trying it is hard.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough for this week's discussion. Before we end this week's session, is there anything else you would like to bring up?
Nothing right offhand. I would like. Hopefully, we can continue this and we can get all the bugs worked out, and we can get more of an audience going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I also firmly believe that if we keep pushing, doing it, someday somehow we will get the attention from I don't know from whom, but anyway, because no one is doing it anyway, so there is hardly any competition at the moment. Yeah, so few people are doing things like this. So we are the pioneers, and as pioneers, we have the first mover advantage.
Well,
so and yeah,
I'm
just
going to
keep
try
pushing it.
I'm going to try to once we get our system down to where we're better set up, I'm going to go over to the remote viewing Discord and see if I can pull some of those people onto the contest.
So, that would be great. Yeah.
That way.
Yeah. The point is just doing it, and we will know how to make progress and do better.
Right.
Yeah, success is in the text. Okay, so anyway, very appreciate that Jeff and Leo participated for this week's discussion, and also very appreciate that many people submitted their remote viewing data without their participation. Our weekly discussion is not possible, and I really want to thank them for their effort and for this. And okay, so that's all for this week, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye, and have a good day. Bye bye.